Hey guys, happy Easter. Welcome to another video in a day in the life of a hospital social worker. So happy Easter again. Easter is a little different for all of us this year, right? I know a majority of us had online church this morning. So yeah, it's what we did have. It was a little different. And I have on our church shirt on, which is Amazing Grace Church, and our 2020 vision is focus. So we had to kind of put our shirts on this morning and post it on Facebook. So that's what me and my husband did. And hopefully everyone is having a great Easter, or at least making the best of it, right? So today I wanted to talk to you guys about working from home. So we got the okay to start working from home about probably 2 weeks ago. So we have been rotating 2 staff on site at all times for a week at a time. So I actually went first. Me and my buddy, we're paired up with our another social worker, so your buddy. Me and my buddy, we actually were the first ones to work that week. And for me, it was a 6-day work week because I actually ended up working that Saturday as well. It was my on-call day. And then, so this week that we just ended was my first full week working from home. And of course, there's pros and cons to that, right? Of course. Pro is, I'm up. I just get up, take a shower, don't have to throw on no makeup, just throw on some nice, comfortable lounging wear, make my coffee, sign into the computer, and check in with, the staff, and then look and see what consults I have for the day. And then, of course, the con is, my daughter's also home, which is a good thing. Not a con, but it's just that, I also have to attend to her. And then she has schoolwork from online. And I'm one of those type of people that's like, oh, the dishes in the sink, let me wash the dishes now and not just let me wash them later, compared to when you go to work, you get out at 4:30, 5 o'clock, you come home, you make dinner, you clean up, and, whereas me, I was doing that throughout the day, and I'm like, wait, this is exhausting. I don't need to watch every little thing. I just need to, let me focus on work. When I'm done working, then I'll focus on dishes and cleaning or whatever. So my husband still goes to work. He can't work from home, so he works at a hospital, and so he needs to be here. He needs to be there. So he still goes in, right? And of course, we just pray, put the blood of Jesus, and wash your hands, which we have always asked. We are always done. He wears his mask, and we do the best that we can. That's what we can do in these times, right? So working from home, I had to say, as a social worker, we're a people person. I like to see people. I like to have a conversation looking at someone, not on the telephone. Because, working from home or your consults, everything is being done through the phone. Whether we have mobile heartbeats, so whether we're texting or whether we're calling, it's constantly telephone. Now, of course, I think about that. My patients is a hospital, so I have adults. They run from 18 to the oldest being over 100. So trying to have a conversation with a 80-something plus or 90-year-old on the phone, yeah, that could be a little challenging for the both of us. One, they're not used to that. Patients are used to seeing the staff there. They're not used to having a conversation, doing a whole assessment on the phone. So, you can imagine they can't hear us, we can't hear them. So that can get a little frustrating doing a whole assessment, especially on an elderly person over the phone. And it also gets a little challenging when you have to do it on other patients, especially for substance abuse. Because, when you're there, you can tell when someone's lying to you because, you pay attention to the gestures, pay attention to whether they're making eye contact or not. When you're on the phone, you can't see anything. So you don't know if this person is being for real or not. They can tell you, oh, I smoke weed or I did heroin and the kids weren't present. And sure enough, the kids were in the house. So that it's going to give you a DCF report. So it is a little challenging doing all this stuff from home that I am accustomed to doing in person. And I actually prefer doing it in person. I mean, this is the way that we are working right now at the moment. It's temporary, which is fine. And don't get me wrong, I'm enjoying being in my own house. I'm definitely enjoying that. Today was like the first day that I actually put some makeup on because I haven't put makeup on in about a week. right? And I'm someone that just to feel good, and I love makeup, so I put makeup on every single day before I go to work. So, and yeah, and I did my hair. Today was a hair wash day, but it's just a little different. I like to see my patients. I like to pay attention to them. I like to be attentive. You could be a good listener over the phone, but it is hard, especially you also have to kind of mute background noise, whether it's coming from the patient. Some of them are in private rooms, some of them are in semi rooms, and they're sharing. So if the other roommate is loud or if the TV's playing, so you just have to learn how to mute all those background noise so that way you can actively listen to what that patient is telling you over the phone, right? So, but like I said, it was my first full week working from home. I go back to on-site in 2 weeks. So I have this week coming up and then the following week, and then I'm back to on-site for a week. And then we're going to kind of look at the schedule for May to see, are we going to continue doing this, or is the staff coming back to on-site? So it's something else that they have to assess and evaluate and make a determination. And then, of course, working from home, typing up my assessments at home on my laptop, stuff that certain things like trying to do a DCF referral, you had to type in the 136 form, which is the child abuse form, that once you make a report, you have to type that up. And then I have to email it to the on-site people that are there so that they can print it out for me and then fax it over to DCF, Department of Children and Family. I know some people have CPS, Child Protective Services. Some people have other acronyms for DCF, but in Connecticut, DCF, Department of Children and Families. So, certain things that, I'm used to just doing my own thing. Again, if I really have to ask someone for help, but it's like I have to depend on the on-sites. We do certain things for Ascend. So if a patient's going to short-term rehab, we also have to do something for the state and the Ascend website. And sometimes they want documentation, they want med lists, they want H&P, they want the psych notes. Again, I had to contact the on-site person. And this is why we had to leave 2 people on-site at all times, because there are certain things that you will need that on-site person to fax for you, to send for you, and that we can't do from home. So, and then there are some cases where on-site actually has to go and physically see that patient. So for example, if I have a 90-year-old that I'm trying to do an assessment over the phone and I am unsuccessful, then I have to notify the person who is on-site and kind of say, hey, can you see this patient for me, because they need a face-to-face? And then I will take one of your patients that I can kind of do the assessment over the phone. You want to trade just to make it fair. So that's why we had to have on-site. Someone stay on site. You just have to. We couldn't just shut down the department and say no one's there, because we're a hospital. Everything is still run. Despite of what's going on in the city, in the state, we still function with every department, whether you're working from home or whether you're on site. Okay, we still function. And with that being said, another thing that was irking my nerves is that hospital employees are considered essential employees. And I think sometimes people forget and they get caught up that an essential employee is a nurse and a doctor. Yes and no. Nurses and doctors, they are essential, right? You need them. Of course we do. I need them. But you need everyone. Okay, and I will break it down. You need the housekeeper to come in and clean the rooms and do what is it that they do. You need the food nutrition people to come in to make sure that the patients are receiving the breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snack. You need the respiratory therapists to come in and work on that vent machine that your loved one is connected to. So I don't want everyone to forget that essential employees are not just nurses and doctors. A hospital runs on multiple departments, multiple. You need your social workers. You need your RN care coordinators. They're the ones who do the discharge plan. To be honest with you, without our department, no one would get discharged from the hospital. Because guess what? Social work, care coordinators, the care coordinator associates, the discharge planners, they're the ones who get the equipment. They're the ones who set up the home care services if needed. So without these people, A hospital cannot just run on just nurses and doctors. The nurse will treat you, the doctor will diagnose you, and then what happened next? You need OT, you need PT, you need speech therapy. So everyone is considered essential when you work at a hospital, and this is why we have to all go to work, because we're all considered essential. So I don't want people to get caught up with just a nurse and a doctor are the only ones who work in a hospital. No, sweetheart. We're all needed. If you work in a hospital, every single person that work in that hospital is needed. If you left it to the nurse and doctors, then patients would not eat. The doctor comes in, diagnose you, and leaves. The nurse comes and takes care of you, does your vitals, whatever it is that she does, change your dressing, and leaves. The techs are the ones who come in and bathe you. They're the ones who come, as a matter of fact, they're the ones who come in and take the vital signs. They're the ones who come in and shower you and change your position you. So every single person is needed that works in a hospital. It's not just the nurses and the doctors. I'm sorry, I just need to get that off my chest, because sometimes I think people forget that it takes all the healthcare workers to make this work. It's not just two people. There's just no way. If it was just the nurse and the doctors, then I feel sorry. I would never go to that hospital, because I need everybody. I need everyone. I need the housekeepers to come in and clean my room and make it smell nice and pretty. I need the food nutrition to make sure that I'm getting breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I need everyone. So with that being said, I just wanted to say that, because I see a lot of posting and a lot of things. And sometimes it's like, oh, let's not forget about everybody else, right? But anyway. So let's get back to social work, working from home. So again, there are pros and cons to that. I mean, the con, again, like I said, is that I would rather see my patients than to kind of talk to them on the phone. It is a little hard to do an assessment where I can't see you, because, you know, if you talk to someone, you can see the truth. You can tell if someone's lying to you. You can tell if someone is fibbing or just telling you what they want you to hear. You know, the pros to that, you're home, you're in your own comfort zone, your own space. You don't have to, you could get up, take a shower, don't have to put the makeup on, don't even have to do your hair if you don't want to. You know, of course, those are pros. Now, we still have meetings. Everything is like Skype. So we have meetings almost every day. There's some type of meeting, something happening, right? So we still function as a department. We still function as social workers. I clock in at 8 o'clock. I end my day at 4:30. I check in with my care coordinators, check in with my managers. I also have other tasks, like I do the scheduling, I do other things. So I also have other work that I do as well. But with that being said, you know, I just wanted to check in with everyone. Hopefully everyone is staying safe, doing the best that they can to stay quarantined. I know I cannot wait for this to be over. It really just makes you sit back and just appreciate basically our freedom, that we can walk into any store, we can go to the mall when we feel like it. Well, now everything just came to a stop. Everything is on pause right now. But I thank God that I know who He is, and that the blood of Jesus will cover me, my family, my coworkers, all my healthcare workers, and all the essential employees. So I do believe in that, God's plan. I know this too shall pass. And hopefully everyone will, you know, whatever lesson it is that you're supposed to get out of this, that you will receive it. On that note, guys, enjoy the rest of your Easter, and we'll talk another time.